All right, welcome everyone to the 2025 Chinese Taipei Professional Billiard Association event and happening in Taipei. This is the first round action. Yu Li Si versus Wu Chengyang. Looks like we've got a push-out situation on the first shot. Ready to get going in this tournament. Welcome, Justin. Good safety here, good speed. Does leave a bit of a window, I believe. So this should be the potential to either kick this in or kick safe here. Might be able to get right up underneath it with some left spin and kick and stick. That cue ball in there, pop one out. He went the other way at it, jump shot over the 4 and 7 ball.
This is a really nice, like that 5, really lucky there.
Can you hear me okay, Justin?
I can. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. That's just a little bit echoey on my end. Okay. Well, jump shot coming. This is a difficult jump, leaning over the table like this. Good shot.
Nice shot. I think the consistency of the jump shot has increased ever since people started doing the sidearm jump, because he definitely used the sidearm jump there, and he jumped that, he popped that, making it look easy.
Yeah, he did. It definitely looked like it was no problem. And those are difficult shots when you're sitting on the end of the table. And he just comes short with that bank shot. So we might see another jump shot here. What a great looking club they've got there. This is at 1993. Is that right, Justin?
Sorry, what was that?
This is being played
at 1993. I was just opening up the YouTube stream so I can check the chat.
Good idea. So
nice rail first. I want to make sure that the speed is okay.
Yeah, not quite. Now the jump stick is probably definitely in play if he's blocked.
Yeah, I think it's definitely maybe partially blocked, but I think he's going to have a pretty easy jump on this. Oh, I don't think he needs to. Yeah, just rolls it in with a bit of spin. Great shot. Nice angle on that 4 to swing 2 rails for the 5. So welcome everyone joining us on the stream. We also have EvoSports also has another stream, which will be commentated in Chinese. So if you prefer watching it in Chinese, you can jump over to Able 8 on the same channel. But Patrick and I will be joining in from North America and commentating in English. So if you have any questions about what we're doing, what EvoSports is, anything about us, feel free to put it in the chat. You can do it in Chinese or English or whatever it is, and we'll figure it out and we'll give you the answers you want. Bit of a messy run out so far, but he's been making pretty good work of it.
You know, both players getting several innings at the table in this rack. And I was commenting while you were gone there, Justin, very nice pool club there at, is it 1993?
This is not 1993, no.
Oh, it's not, sorry.
Yeah, this is a new pool hall in, I think, the Taoyuan area in Taiwan. Called New World. Yeah, but once he had an open table, it was a pretty solid run out. He ran into some problems throughout, but did a really good job recovering and getting back into line.
Yep. And now is this a referee mentioning something about the break area? And I'm not familiar with the rules of the tournament. Are they playing sort of breaking from the break box? I do see the break box is lined up down there, and they're racking the 9 on the spot.
Yeah, I believe they are racking. They're breaking from the box.
Yeah, and I personally like that sort of enhancement to 9-ball. You're reducing the consistency. You're making them work harder to be consistent at the break. And top players have mastered this. Some people call it the matchroom style break from the box. 9 on the spot, pocketing the wing ball, the 1 ball in the side pocket, and trying to get shape on the 2 by bringing that cue ball back and forth and giving yourself the best odds. And that was well executed there. He did all 3 things, right? He was able to pocket the 1 in the side cleanly, move the cue ball back and forth, didn't get kicked by another ball. It was the perfect speed. That was textbook break there.
Another thing is we now know the one on the table is Yu Li Si, and his opponent is Wu Cheng Yang.
Okay. And we are commentating to you from the west coast of the U.S. and Canada here. Myself in Paulsbo, Washington, and Justin from Vancouver, BC, on the EvoSports live stream system that is installed in this venue for this event. This might be trouble, and it is. Yeah. So an unfortunate turn of events for you, Lee C.
Sí, sí, fíjate.
I can let's see here. Looks like a pretty clean out off of the error earlier in the rack. On the 2-ball from ULC, that was costly. Or the 3-ball earlier.
I think it's a little straighter than he wants to, and he's on the wrong side of the 8. I think he's just going to punch forward
okay.
2 rails here, no problem.
He'll fold with inside, I think. Yeah, 2 rails comes right towards the 9-ball. Hit it a little bit hot. He's going to have a little more angle, but very manageable still.
You know, one thing I do appreciate is that everybody in this room is wearing the CTPBA shirt. I think that is very cool.
That is really cool. I think they're very excited. The players are excited to be here. It's an honor to be at an event like this. And yeah, it's just great to see the development of the pool community in Taiwan and around Southeast Asia altogether.
Well, the culture around it is so different as well, right? Like the way that society views it and the standing it has within Taiwan is just so different from North America. If you could see how brightly lit and how straight this venue is compared to many locations in the U.S. and in Canada. But you can see, like, this place is, you can tell it's not a pub, it's not a bar. You know, people go here to play pool. You know,
it's a sports club, is what it is.
Yeah.
And we don't call pool halls sports clubs in the U.S. We call them bars, right? So it's a very different culture. And I really hope to someday see more of this in the U.S. or in North America in general. I think that Southeast Asia is really laying the groundwork for the growth of the sport, in my opinion. Okay, what's he doing with the
on the ball? But it just swing naturally over for the 3. Hey, Xiao Yuan, it's nice to see you. Hello, hello.
Very nice touch.
Again, Patrick and I are from the EvoSports team. We are the founding team of this platform. We are an automated streaming platform, so these players both have started the stream without our intervention. And then we can add commentary from across the ocean with no problem. I'm sitting in Canada, and Patrick is sitting in the United States. And we're adding some extra value for you here, just using our platform. If you have any questions about what EvoSports is or what we're trying to achieve, please feel free to ask in the chat. You can ask in Chinese or in English. We'll figure it out and we'll get you the answer. We'll probably have to reply in English though. Ooh, nice draw shot to get on the 5. Potentially a little too straight to get on the 6.
And he's jacked up off of the rail. And he got a little bit less of that ball than he wanted to, and that caused the cue ball to travel quite a bit.
Oh, wow. Now he's left with something very difficult. So Xiaoyu Wang is from 1993 Pool Club. So yeah, we really appreciate you guys supportive of us, and I really hope to come to Taiwan soon and meet all of you. I'm practicing my Mandarin with Colin, to get ready for the meeting. So hopefully by then my Mandarin is going to be a little bit better.
Oh, beautiful
Wow, what a
here
shot!
on the 6-ball.
He's gonna have another tester though. It does come in line to that 8-ball. It was a really good line for shape.
Yep. But compared to the last shot, this one much, I would say, a little bit easier.
Yeah, much easier than the last one.
Okay, he's kind of been forced to shoot that 9 in the side.
I guess.
Yeah, he just cut it in the side pocket. The side pockets on these Rawson tables, I believe, are a little bit more narrow than what we might be used to on, say, the Diamond Pro-Am table. I believe they're a little tighter.
I do find in Asia, in Asia, it seems like the Rawson and the Brunswick is much more prevalent than the Diamond.
No, it didn't matter how small that pocket was. He hit it dead center, so even if it was 2 1/4 inches, it would have went straight in the pocket.
And I believe, was that a break and run? I think that was a break and run. Yeah, I had a hard cut on that too.
Yeah,
hard cut on that 6 or the 7.
Yep, I would say just a couple of positional errors to, but then really good shooting to get out of those during the rack. I think if you were to probably ask him what his thoughts were, he'd probably say, I should have done better, even though he got out and it was a nice run out. We'll see if he can do it again. Got the 1, and the 2-ball is not going to go anywhere. We're looking at a safety here. You try to hold the cue ball behind the 3, trying to move the 2 down into the traffic a little bit.
Yeah, relatively easy safe, I think. I would just roll it up to the 3.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of options with as far as the cue ball. You have to hit top because you're right on the rail. So you just have to take what that is. There it is. What great control.
Yeah, it really nudges into that 3. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that cuts off a lot of kicking angles that would have been nice for him to have here. Yeah. Cue ball could get wild on him here after contact. That was good. Good control. Wow, look at that.
Wow, what a nice kick safe.
I got to give him one of these. To get out of that and to come out like that is pretty good. I like it. Oof. I didn't know he had enough of that. I don't. He might have had to swerve that cue ball a little bit to get to that 2-ball.
Yeah, he overcut it too, right? So that's kind of what we expect. Oh, he undercut it. Sorry, we're just watching the replay. So he definitely had enough angle to shoot it.
Yeah, I think it was a shot where he had to put a little bit of masse on it, and it ended up swerving a little bit too much and hitting the ball too full.
Not making this run any easier for himself.
Right.
There's quite a bit of distance between the 3 and the 4. Has to be very careful on this combo. He wants to take it, but he really has to make sure he's approaching this correctly.
I think that's a long way to throw. I think he's going to play the safety where he just kind of spins off of this, bringing the cue ball back to the backside of the 4 ball. I think is what we're going to see. Because
Yeah, there we go.
the combo, you would have had to really throw it quite a bit for it to make the pocket. That one was readily available for him. It's not as lock-up as you would have liked. There's a little bit of room to retaliate here. Okay, this is going to be opportunity. Well, he might not have that entire pocket. And
the only thing is he's shooting over the 9.
Exactly. Wow.
You know, in this video, we're not entirely sure if this 7 ball goes as well. I don't think it does.
Yeah, it's impossible to know for sure.
But that was a great shot on the 3 ball. Incredibly confident stroke.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that he missed the 4 though right after that, and he's very frustrated with himself for missing that purple. His mental error, maybe something that he didn't like at the last second, and those things can happen. Oh, and a beautiful bank shot to get perfect shape on this 5 ball. And now he's looking to see, he was looking at the 7 to see if it plays by the 8. And I think it does the way he's looking at it. I feel like the player's body language tells me that the 7 does go by.
Yeah, because he's not looking at it too much. Yeah, he just quick glance, and you know.
Right. It's really more seeing where he wants to be on that 7, being on the correct side of it to get the best possible shape on the 8. That's a real. I don't think he got that full stroke into that ball. Being leaning over the table as he was, he wasn't able to really stroke through the ball all the way there. That's what caused this difficult cut shot. Should be able to bring it.
I don't think he has the full pocket
position. Uh-oh. That's no good. Yeah, that's the game. That's the way it goes.
That was a great shot on the 7 too, because I don't think he had a full pocket there.
It was a very good shot on the 7. I think instead of using a little bit of inside, he used outside on that shot, trying to bring the cue ball around the 3 rails. Misjudged a little bit.
Well, that lets ULC come at 2-2.
Yep, and breaking, so it's a winner break format.
While we're waiting for them to rack, another feature of our EvoSports system is the ability to play video ads. Here is an ad from Racing. Oh, well. We're going to cancel it because they're obviously going to break here.
What happened here? I missed that. I was looking away. I think we had a golden break. Yes, we did.
Yeah, golden break by ULC, which makes that scratch on the 7
incredibly
really big.
painful. Yeah.
Came back
Yep.
and cut the 9-ball into the corner.
We call that salt in the wound. Yeah, in this format with the winter break format, one mistake a lot of times is multiple racks built up against you. Missing. Oh, so this is the first break that we've seen where the 1 ball did not go in. I guess except for the last one. The 1 stayed on the table, but the 9 went in. Okay, so we might get to see a crafty defensive battle to start this rack. There's been a few of them already in this match. Both players having multiple innings per game. And this is no easy start, but Wu Cheng-Yang, I'm sure, is happy to at least have the opportunity. He might be pocketing the 7 or trying to pocket the 7, but I don't think so. I think he's trying to hit really thin and bring the cue ball up to the around.
Yeah, I don't think
Got to get
see
behind
enough
the 6, though. He almost got there. Almost
he was
got
a tough
covered.
cut on the 1 ball. I don't think he saw enough of that 1 ball to carry him into the 7.
Yeah, I think you're right. And that was a tough safety to execute. He had to go around the 4 ball at that perfect angle and have it get behind the 6, but not go too far. That's a lot to navigate there. And what a beautiful stroke there from
And coming back and forth for shape. He's going to have to play the combo. With this angle, maybe you might even play the carom. But I don't think the carom gives you gives you shape. I think he's going to be forced to play the combo.
Right. The carom moves the 2 ball towards the purple 4, I think, and the cue ball sits by the hole, so it's not ideal. That was ideal there. Okay. So Ulysses off and running now to build his lead. Going to be coming close to this side pocket. Very, very close, and that was too close. So, an unfortunate scratch. I was wondering if the cue ball was just going to stop just short of it, and it almost did.
He had a lot of space to come back and forth. I'm surprised he didn't stop it farther up table. He didn't have to draw it to come back in this angle. He decided to come in at a very steep angle, like kind of like this, right? He didn't even have to go backwards in this direction.
Yeah,
which risks the scratch.
Yeah, he didn't have to do that. You're right. He wanted to get a little closer. Maybe got a little greedy, right?
Yeah, from what we've been seeing so far, both players are phenomenal potters.
Right.
He shouldn't have been afraid of taking a slightly longer but safer cut on the 5.
No. And that was perfect speed there. The unmissable 9 ball for Wu Cheng-Yang. Tie the score.
Nice getting that video ad in.
Yeah, got to promote the sponsors of this event.
Turning Point's really, made a comeback, and maybe not comeback, but they really made an explosion into the scene in the last year or two. I feel a lot of people, at least in my local pool hall, which is very Asian based, has a lot of players have Turning Point chalk. Even I was actually gifted a Turning Point chalk about 4 years ago. It was like a British limited edition one, and I think that's when it just started. So it's cool to see how big they've grown. Actually, Turning Point. Gets there quite nicely, that 3-ball. Nice run so far by ULC here, coming on the inside of that, really maintaining the right angle on every shot. He is a little bit too much here.
Yeah, I don't know that he wanted to be coming around the 9-ball, but I think he has to now.
Yeah, so far he's been in pretty good line.
That was well done. And I'm sure these players here are very familiar with the table conditions. They look very comfortable. Oh,
I think it's mostly because they're used to playing Rassens more so than they're used to these specific tables. It is a pretty new pool hall. You're not going to expect a lot of these players to be playing here like that much, or be too used to these tables. But it seems to be all Rassens in Asia. So it does really speak to the consistency of Rassen. I think that you can play at this level right from the get-go.
Now, I wonder, because I have not visited there, is 9-ball sort of the primary game that's played in events that are happening in Taiwan?
Yeah, I would say the main competitive game is 9-ball, but obviously they have 2-3-5, which is Taiwanese carom, which they play casually, and I'm sure they play other games, but I'd say 9-ball is the most predominant game.
Okay, here we go. 1 ball in the side. Cue ball gets kicked down table. Could be an issue. Oh, he's got an open look at the 2.
I think the 2 and the 3 also have to be in the corners. Have to be the wing balls, and I believe the 4 has to be on the end, because they've been consistently racking it that way as well. And I saw them pointing at it while they were after the first break.
That may be what the ref was talking about after the first break, because the ref had come to the table. I think they had a question. I think the rule is that it's just about the 2 ball has to be racked in either the wing spot or the back. Do you think it needs to be racked on the wing?
Well, we'll know as we keep going, I think. Definitely this rack, the 2 and the 3 are racked in the wing positions. ULC has a good opportunity here, actually. The two you kind of have a drag stun there, and you get the 3 ball. And the 4 ball's pretty close vicinity. Oh, but misses the 2.
See, that was that last little bump on the 4 ball closed off that path. He might be able to bank it. It looks like he's looking at the bank angle. That could be ideal, actually, for position on the 3. Yep. Definitely looks like what he's looking for here. Fire the bank in, bring the cue ball back to really where it is now, or stop it right there. Perfect. I mean, I don't know that he wants that angle on the 3 exactly, because it's going to be really difficult to get the cue ball.
Well, it's definitely one of those instances you don't want to do too much as well. I think potting the 2 was important, and it does leave a very dangerous angle on this 3 ball. It might run into the 6. You have the other corner pocket in play, but if you miss it, you have pretty natural shape for that 4 into the corner. So
yeah,
I think with that bank, I think he just decided, you know what, I'm just going to take my medicine here and take it the way.
That window that he came through to get through that, I mean, without hitting those balls, it was really difficult. But he's not out of the woods yet. Oh, he's overcut this.
Yeah, I think this is another shot that's a good example of taking your medicine, not trying to do too much, right? And just trying to stay here instead of trying to get all the way back. It also depends on, your cue power and how much you trust your own stroke.
Yeah, definitely. Now, do you think that he can get enough on this to come this way with the cue ball and try to land into this area here?
Well, that's what I mean by, like, you got to really trust your cue power here. You need to almost swerve into it with that kind of spin to get it to go that.
He hit your shot, and he hit it just perfect. You drew the exact line earlier for that one.
Still a little bit tricky, though. He has to swing underneath the 6. He doesn't want to come into the rail with too steep of too less of an angle. If he has too little of an angle, he could end up really, really weird, and the power control could be really difficult to hold for that 6 ball, which you can see here.
Yeah, he did an excellent job.
Yeah, he decided to use check instead. You can see that even that angle was a little bit bigger than you would probably prefer.
Yeah.
Especially with such tight pockets.
I tell you, I'm watching around the room here because I know I can see a few different tables in the view. And the speed in which the players play, they're not on a shot clock necessarily, but they all play at a very, very quick tempo, I think. Which is really good to see. Nice jump shot from
Wow, look at that.
with position. That's where we press the replay button that we're going to have soon.
Coming soon.
Coming
To
soon.
our features is on the replay. Yeah, the power control on that jump shot was phenomenal. He's on the right side of that 7, just come up the short rail.
Yeah.
A little bit big, but nothing to worry about. Just come off the other short rail. A little bit of left spin.
And really unfortunate for Yuli C, who had made some great shots earlier in this rack and looked well in control. And then the error on the 6 ball and the incredible jump shot from Wu Cheng Yang to close out the